What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing tonight? Welcome to episode 11 of the Bad Batch Roundtable. I got the usual people with me tonight. We're going to talk about this episode. Honestly, I hadn't finished it, but I got like 5 minutes left to watch. From what I've seen so far, I like this episode. I like the callback to it. But before we get into that, let's get to know our panel a little bit. Some of them you know, some of them you may not know. Danny Graham, Comic Chat. Would you please start off with me, please?
First of all, the gentleman to my right is a sorry sucker. I thought he was my boy. You want to write some bullshit that I lose my hand and barely get away with my life? What kind of bullshit is that? But anyway.
What else I do now?
No. You see, it's fine because he's just trying. He's just trying to prop up himself by cutting down others. That's okay. It's fine.
Hold on. No. First off, Danny, you will like why I did that next week. Trust me on that. But yeah, you gave me that bullshit. You gave me that bullshit story about this. That was what you wanted, and I was like, no.
Bullshit.
You're gonna have to lose a hand for that.
I crowned you the Grand Master, and I came to you, and you sent me on a secret mission. What is wrong with me as a regular Jedi Master going to the Grand Master, Anzo Biggerford, for advice, and you sent me on a secret mission? What is wrong with that?
Absolutely nothing.
Anzo ain't even a damn general. I mean, a Jedi. He's a general.
Well,
what the hell?
Okay, let's not talk about this because the story is still coming out.
Yes. Okay. And you will next week, Danny. That's all I'm saying.
We got five. We got 5 more chapters to go, so we'll see how the story ends up.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
And so I didn't read it on, so I'm sorry.
Although, hey, props because I think you slowed it down though. It looked like it didn't look as fast as normal.
Probably because I took out a 4th paragraph and only had 3 this time.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, Danny. Continue, please.
All right. Dave Graham, aka Comic Chat, Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My show, Chaotic Conversations, 6 questions, 10 minutes. Please stop by tomorrow if you're not doing anything. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ready to get into the show.
Thank you, Danny, for being here, really. Next, Anzo, Bigger Ford Entertainment. Talk about yourself, man.
Yes, sir. You guys know the channel, Bigger Ford Entertainment. Missed a few weeks of both shows, but I'm glad to be back. Make sure to check out next week. We will be doing a 1-year anniversary of the OOC, but other than that, I'm glad to be back. Chaos List, Chaos Conversation, Rule of 3 with a side of Tabasco. Make sure you check it all out, guys. Thanks, JJ.
Awesome, man. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Next up,
I was just going to say, I missed 2 shows and you get 1,000 views. Now, if this one doesn't get 1,000 views, I'm going to feel like shit.
We just won't invite you back next time.
I won't come. I'll skip the next week if it doesn't happen.
Okay. All right.
But congratulations on the views, bro. Good job.
Yo, man, I'm blown as way as anybody else, man. 1,000 on one and 1,400 on the other. I'm like, what the hell is going on? But that's okay. That means we're getting seen. That's a good thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, next on the list, the ego himself, Chris Knight. Tell him about yourself.
I am Chris Knight. The Real Review 3000 is my channel. Khaos Central is another one of my babies. Along with getting help from a lot of different people. JJ, Danny, Anzo, Geiskar. A lot of people are on this channel, guys. Please, if you want to check me out, that's fine. Check out everybody else here. Everybody else you see on our other Khaos Central shows. But please, if you're not subscribed to Khaos Central, please do subscribe today. We've been getting subscribers pretty regularly now. We're almost up to 200 subscribers. If you know somebody who would like the content that we do, please pass the word along. All of our channels rely on your word, passing the word along. Every last one of our channels relies on that. So please check us also out on Khaos Central's Twitter channel. That's at Central Chaos. We're on Instagram, Facebook, soon to be on Twitch, and we're also over on Odyssey. So guys, thank you very much. And JJ, thank you. And yeah, doing a great job. Obviously, the views are signifying that.
Well, I'm just hosting the show. You're the man behind the plan. You're the one doing the tagging and all the other stuff to it. I don't know, but I'm not arguing about it.
Until it doesn't work, I'm tagging it the same way, except for changing out the episode and all that. But
yeah, maybe we'll get recommended on another DIY channel or something.
I have no clue. I have no clue how
You never know when people want to build a round table. We have a lot to say about that.
Yeah. Next, the other Canadian on the panel. He's a great guy. You guys need to check this guy out. He's got some good content. Guy Scar, tell him about yourself, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Bueno, yo soy Guy Scar del Caótico, Khaos Caótico. Puedes encontrarnos aquí a todos los días, de miércoles a jueves, a las 9 todos los días. Y ya, gracias JJ, por tenerme aquí. Vamos a hacer este episodio. Me encantó. Va a ser la hostia. All right.
Yes. You're clear on Taco Bell. You're clear on Taco Bell, exactly.
Okay, Taco Bell. That's all
right. You mentioned eggs in there? Really?
But that was impressive, though. I ain't gonna argue about that shit. I speak 3 languages, and that's not one of them. It was impressive. So we'll translate it later. Sorry, guys. Next on the list. Yeah, we need subtitles for him now. Great. Next on the panel, our Oracle herself, Dandelion Fluff. Please talk about yourself for a moment.
Sure. Dandelion Fluff. I don't really have a channel. Mostly hang out in chats. Occasionally shot onto a stream. So here I am today. And thanks for having me, JJ.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. And then next, Oscinator. Spill it.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to say my apologies for missing the last couple roundtables. Shit's been going down. Usually on Sundays, you find me twice on Khaos Central if shit doesn't happen. Now it's going to be on Thursday because it's the last episode. Hallelujah and amen to that for Loki. And the Bad Batch Roundtable, which, thank God, Bad Batch is on Friday, or else my week will be ruined because of Loki. Monday, well, thank God I'm starting this up again. Good old wrestling. It's back on my channel, thank God. We're reviewing Royal Rumble 2002. Yes, we're reviewing old pay-per-views because I'm sick and tired of this new bullshit. So we're talking about old stuff. Tuesdays is Austin and Friends Talk Pop Culture, where, God fucking forbid, we're reviewing Loki as well there. God, I hate talking about it. I do. I just don't like it. Randomness at its finest on Mondays on JJ's channel. Thursdays, sometimes I'm on Chris Knight's channel for the Rumble, Galactic Chat and Android 243's channel. Twitter at the Oscinator17. Go and follow the Khaos Central Twitter. Just subscribe to everybody on the panel, honestly. Thanks for having me on, JJ. Now let's talk about something actually good.
Okay, cool. Thank you for being here. You're home, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I could tell it was a lot quieter. And last and definitely not least, Ninjroid243. Tell everybody about yourself, man.
All right, you guys can personally find me on my own YouTube channel, Ninjroid243, in which over there on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time is Galactic Chat, where this season we are kicking off very strong with actually a game show, which is very nice. I had some of the people, mainly JJ, who actually won this past, episode. So he will be coming back for the season finale, for Star Wars trivia. That's mainly it. So if you want to come on and play Star Wars trivia, if you want to fight JJ, come on.
Anzo. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, I ain't worried about you, bro. I'll come on and beat your. I'll come on and whoop your ass in that game. Facts.
You know who will actually kick your ass on that game? It's probably Chris. That dude knows a lot of Star Wars trivia.
Well, I won.
It's true.
I had the highest score. I won. So
I only lost on Vile Mics because of one question. After that, there was no way I could come back because it was just there weren't enough on there.
Yeah. Well, Google is a wonderful thing.
JJ No, I'm not Googling anything.
That's
Nope,
me.
me neither.
I'd
Me
be
neither.
Googling shit.
Oh shit!
I was answering shit I knew nothing about and still got it right. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this, Hanzo, before you do. Yeah, I got lucky. You know,
Not allowed. Wow.
I'm just
No.
glad I answered like a couple of questions. So
No,
I
but
didn't, like,
the
Look
totally
what you did, Android.
get
the
crashed out
first-
by a mic.
no, the first part of the game, he's actually got something that he uses that we go through and answer. What was it? 40 questions.
Yeah, 40 questions.
40 questions, multiple choice, and you know you get points for how you score it.
Yes.
And if you score the highest, you get 20 points, and then from there it turns into a rumble-based game. He brings the wheel into the effect. We talk about some shit, and we got some judges that judge us. You know, so it was all completely random.
Yep.
But anyway, all right, Devil's Due. No, not Devil's Due.
Devil's Deal.
Devil's Deal. My bad. Sorry. Devil's Deal, episode 11. We're going to start off. We're going to just give some impressions on the episode. Danny, what was your overall impression of this episode?
This episode did a 180 for me. It really had nothing about the Bad Batch. You're on there maybe a total of two to 3 minutes. This was, if I know people don't use filler, this is definitely a filler. Only thing we did saw from it that Crosshair seemed to be on the mend and wasn't seriously hurt, but really had nothing to do with the overall story that we've seen so far. I don't know if they're going into a different storyline, trying to tie the Empire more into it. It was okay, but for us continuing the story that we've already seen, that we already in, it didn't do anything for that. Of course, did tie in. We saw the young version of the pilot for Rebels. I can't think of her name. And we see that she has a love for flying. Yeah, Hera. So that was kind of cool nod how they tied that in. But other than that, wasn't nothing special. I didn't hate it, but I'm not in love with it either. So it's okay.
Okay. All right. Anzo, what's your overall thoughts, man?
I hated it. I didn't like it.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you straight up, like, I've basically checked out of the Bad Batch right now. I know last couple episodes I heard people liked, and I just haven't liked the last 3 episodes, and I'm just watching it because I'm here hanging out with you guys at this point.
Okay. All right.
Honesty is always appreciated. That's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Chris, what you think, man?
I didn't hate it, but I thought it was an interesting episode, and it was a different take on some stuff that, I mean, I think it was, in a sense, a bold move with what they did. So.
All right. Guys, Car, what you got?
It was an okay episode. Nothing spectacular. I agree with Danny. It's just a filler. I liked how it tied into Rebels,
Okay.
but it was a decent episode. Nothing wow about it.
Okay. Oscillator.
All right, I'm gonna be genuinely honest with everybody. I don't know.
Please do.
I don't know if it was because I watched Loki the same night as Bad Batch, because I'll be honest with you, I watched it late last night because I was like, because Loki pissed me off so bad. I was like, I'm not fucking watching Loki this week. I'm just gonna skip it, and I forgot to watch Bad Batch. So I don't know if it's because I watched Loki and Bad Batch at the same time, but I enjoyed Bad Batch more than I thought I was, because I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a filler episode, ain't it? And I was actually shocked. I was like, you know what, this actually ain't half bad. Like, I'll go into more specifically when we talk about our positives and our negatives, because I mean, literally all, like, the good shit I have to say is basically what I would have said in my overall thoughts. But overall, I enjoyed it.
Okay. All right. Cool. Nindroid.
Overall, I actually really enjoyed this episode. Now, maybe I'm just a sucker because I'm a huge fanboy of Rebels, but to be honest with you, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought this was just going to be a straight on, really filler episode, really like just a side quest, but no, I kind of see where they're going to go with this story, so I'm really excited to see what's next.
Okay, all right. Personally, what I saw of it, I didn't hate the episode. You know, I kind of liked it. You know, I was like tripping out. Really, I went, yeah. When I saw Chopper, I was like, fuck yeah. You know, we got Chopper and Hera, because I heard her mother say, you know, Hera's got. You know, I figured it was just going to be by mention, but we actually got to see her. So, you know, and we know Hera's a pilot, man. She's an epic pilot. And it started to show where she has her love for flying, and I loved it. I liked the episode. You know, it's not one of their best, but I liked it. And with that being said, now we're gonna change it up a little bit and talk about what we liked about the episode. And what'd you like about it, Danny? Anything?
I agree with what you said. The nod and the tie back to Rebels, it was good. You saw Hera's kind of backstory and saw her interaction with her parents and all that stuff, and see how that transpired and how she became what she became. Be cool if we see Ezra. That'd be cool if they show that. And I can't. What was Ezra's mentor? I can't think of his name.
Kanan.
Kanan. If you see Kanan, that'd be cool. Because Kanan, of course, and Hera were love interests, so that'd be cool to see that if they do that. But I think they should have done this, started this maybe 3 or 4 episodes back, but they should have done it like a 2 stories, like show the Bad Batch doing a mission, then showing them possibly going in saving the leaders of these different planets and stuff. Because last week they did the leader from another planet, they rescued him. Like this week, this planet here is kind of doing a little revolt. So if they would show them trying to help or assist them as each planet, let's do it kind of systematically and still keep their storyline going. I think I would have done it that way. But like I said, not in love with this particular episode, but it wasn't bad. I've seen worse. So I don't know what, I'm curious to see what Ninja is going to say, because I don't have a clue what direction they're going in. But it's good to see Crosshairs back on the men. I want to see Crosshairs confront the Bad Batch. So I hope it's heading to that direction. Or I kind of want, at first I want to see him back in the fold, but now not so much. But it's gonna be interesting to see whenever they face off.
Okay. Yep, I agree. It's about time they brought Crosshair back into it, because, you know, in the beginning the story was mainly about him. So I'm glad to see him back into action. Right. So I want to know what they're going to do with him.
Yeah, Crosshairs is a problem. They're going to have to kill him or bring him back in the Bad Batch.
Yeah. Alonzo, what did you like about it, if anything at all?
The only thing I really enjoyed about it was the fact that it tied into Rebels. But other than that, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was quick.
Yeah, that's it.
Chris?
I mean, I'm with Danny on this. I mean, okay, so we kind of had the 2 stories. You had Crosshair and you had the Bad Batch. I mean, again, I think I said it a while back that they needed to really focus on this back and forth, follow one, follow the other. But as these went along, when you started introducing these different leaders, then you can introduce the Bad Batch coming for one reason, but Crosshair is there for another reason. So they kind of touched on that. I didn't hate this episode. And yes, there's a big Rebels tie-in. I haven't watched a ton of Rebels, but I kind of looked up every time I see characters I'm not recognizing. I look it up. I see what I can find out. Rebels, you know, I think that's a good move on their part, but I still think it needed to have a little more of the Bad Batch in it. I thought the Bad Batch was going to come back and be there at the end. They weren't, or somehow Crosshair was following this group because he thought they had something to do with the Bad Batch, and he was going to come in when they were transferring the weapons. But overall, the episode does a decent job with its purpose. It's there to show another side of what we saw last week. Last week, the people were not revolting yet, but they were going to. Here, everybody's trying to play the game. Like, okay, we're going to follow you. We're going to go with you. And we see the flip side of that, all the behind the scenes stuff, where the problem is behind the scenes, not so much out front. So I do like that. I just think the Bad Batch, being the Bad Batch, we've talked about this with Loki, you need your main characters to be the main characters, not the side note. So even if you do these episodes, please bring them in. But it was a decent episode.
Let me ask a quick question. Haven't we already seen Kanan? Wasn't there like a little Jedi boy that escaped Order 66?
Yeah.
The first episode.
His real name is Caleb Doom. He was in the very first episode.
So that's not Kanan.
That is Kanan, yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's what
His
I thought.
alias.
All right.
It's just later on in life he changed his name from Caleb Doom to Kanan Jarrus.
I got you.
All right, Guys Car, what'd you like, if anything at all?
Well, I mostly did enjoy the episode. It was a filler episode, but it has to do with Ryloth, right? And Ryloth was a pivotal planet in the whole, leading up to the first Star Destroyer and the minerals needed in order to, help construct it, which actually led the planet to slavery because of the revolt. So this is like a backstory of a pivotal moment in Star Wars. So I found that interesting. I like the fact that the best part was the callback to Rebels, seeing a young Hera and seeing where I'm dying to see where is it that she picked up this whole, skills of flying, right? Was it with the Bad Batch? She's going to be a new member of the Bad Batch, or that's what I'm curious about, right? But I like the whole stormtrooper. I was going to say the clone trooper that's with them. Like, you can see he's compassionate and he has feelings towards Hera. That I found that kind of cool. So I'm wondering if, go ahead, Danny.
I don't think that chip working.
Exactly. So I don't think the chip is really functioning. So you see that a human aspect of him towards Hera, right? Protecting her. So that's I'm curious to see how this works, because obviously this is a 2-part episode. So it was pretty decent episode.
Awesome. Shit, I forgot. Dandelion, what'd you like about this episode?
It's right there, man.
Hey, but she didn't. Did she give her overall?
Overall,
No,
I liked the episode.
Yeah.
Actually, I would have to say this was one of my favorite episodes. For me, this showed me everything that's been missing from this show. It had direction. It had some plot movement. A lot of the problem I have with the Bad Batch as a group is they're all voiced by the same person. So I don't feel a lot of connection between the characters because they're all the same character in a sense. Like, half the time I can't even tell the difference between Tech and the other techish guy.
Tech and Echo, yeah.
Right? Half the time I can't even tell the difference between those two. They're completely interchangeable in my mind. The only one who's really stands out is the Hunter and Wrecker. They're kind of distinct, but I still don't feel a lot of connection between them. So because everybody was kind of different characters, there was more character connection. And it also showed me the difference between a character being more of a plot point versus being an actual character. Hera had motivation. She had aspirations. She had purpose, whereas Omega just always seems to just kind of be tagging along, part of the scenery. She doesn't have any real goals of her own, which is, I think, the thing. I don't find Omega to be a really well-written character. And Hera, obviously, because she's a character in that universe already, they had a story for her, which I really I found her a lot more compelling than Omega. Even when you compared the two of them next to each other, like they're in the same place, Omega just seemed so like just so shallow, and she doesn't seem to really like have her own thing in a sense, right? Like, yeah, she's on the thing, she's got her own room, but she didn't have like any drive or purpose of her own. Whereas we see Hera has, you know, all this drive and purpose, and she's already like striving towards a goal, that kind of thing. So for me, I really liked this episode because it really did seem to have like everybody had like a purpose. And that's been my problem with the Bad Batch, is they don't have a goal. They're just like drifting along. They don't have any like intentional purpose. Like they don't seem to have like a reason to be there. They're just trying to get by, right? Which, I mean, even if they were just trying to get by, I mean, freaking the Dukes of Hazzard were just trying to get by, but they managed to be like a compelling story. Well, okay,
Right.
semi-compelling story. So like this episode for me, like everybody seemed to have a purpose and a drive and like a reason for what they did. Whereas for me on the other episodes, some of the episodes were excellent, but they didn't have that same, like there was no over-defining goal or reason for being. And that was one thing I really liked about this episode, is you really got that sense of purpose, which I really liked about it.
Okay. Sounds good. Austin, what'd you like about this, if anything? I know you did. I know you liked it. It wasn't Loki.
I like thank God it wasn't Loki, or else this episode would have been trash. But yeah, no, I like the tie into Rebels because I kind of consider this kind of like a trilogy in a sense, where you have Clone Wars as your first show, you have Bad Batch as your second show, and Rebels being your third show. So Bad Batch taking place after Order 66, and it's a precursor to Rebels. So I like that it's like a little bridge between those two shows, having like, you know, characters like Kanan and Hera being in there. I thought that was greatly appreciated, as you know, for a middle chapter. I liked more of the Empire stuff this episode. We're starting to see how the Empire is using fear to kind of like just scare everybody in that, like, in terms of like the politicians and like the fans, or not the fans, but fucking the crowds, or just people, because they're fear mongering people, because they're using that as a ploy to basically say, well, without us, you're screwed. And you kind of see the dark side of like those politics, and you do see that in the prequel trilogy. But here, it's where you see, because like this is the time period where that like the corruptedness of that is going to show, because it's kind of like in the last episode, you see like a politician who's like, oh, you know, a ruler who's like, oh, this is wrong. Like you can tell, like, this is where people are going to start showing their true colors, which I appreciate that as well. As far as the Crosshair being in there, I thought was cool. Like I said, I'm glad he's making a miraculous recovery. I mean, I'm pretty sure they have really good health benefits over there at the Empire Medical facility. Where
Maybe it's like Canada.
Yes. We here at Empire Memorial do a great job, especially in the burning. In fact, I, as one of the doctors, if you remember there, Austin, I helped you recently, and you have made a great recovery. In fact,
I have indeed.
I mean,
my bones get a little cold at night, and also my skin gets weak. And sometimes I might steal a car in my sleep. I mean, everything's
What?
okay. But it's like I like the aspect. Like, there's just so much in this episode that I did enjoy when you look, because like, yeah, it's filler, but I think it's filler. It's like good filler, because you're seeing more stuff behind the scenes with the Empire, while also and you're also getting a tie into Rebels, which is always appreciated, and seeing kind of like just how, and also like how desperate, like you start to see like kind of a glimpse at what the Rebel Alliance is basically going to be like, but we're not there yet because we're not at that point in the timeline. Like we're still like at the very beginning of the Empire. So,
Yes.
and you see people even then getting desperate, like they're sneaking in, like they were trying to sneak in weapons, and if this is actually a two-parter, which I think it might be, then I do think it's a good setup episode. But if not, then I mean, hey, it's filler that ends up working in its favor, and yeah, that's all my positives.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you. And last but not least, Nindroid. What'd you like about it?
Okay. Well, I love that Hera appeared because Hera, she's actually one of my favorite Star Wars Rebels characters. So I'm glad that she appeared. But my biggest pro actually is that they stay true to canon within the books and everything. So in A New Dawn, which is a novel which Kanan and Hera, they actually meet. Hera actually brings up how she escaped Ryloth, and she brings up that a client of her uncle saved her. Okay, so now that's making me think that the Batch in next episode are probably gonna go and save Hera. So already this is gonna be like a small arc, in which I'm really excited because I love the Clone Wars arcs, and I feel like one huge thing with this show, it should have been like arcs that separate like every 4 episodes. Like with the whole chip situation, it went too far. It should just been 4 episodes, and I feel like we're having a small arc with Hera to better set up her character for Rebels, but also to like set up other things regarding the whole story. Also, I think Crosshair being in it is also very badass because Crosshair has been a huge positive for the show. And also the Empire, just seeing the Empire still taking over worlds, Ryloth as well in control. I mean, like, it's very interesting, and this is what I come to the show for, actually, seeing the progress of the Empire, how it's growing slowly. Like when our TIE fighters gonna be manufactured, the Star Destroyer thing for Ryloth, all this. It's like I want to see the Imperial things more than the Batch, even though. So I like, because we've seen for a lot of these episodes the Batch's story. I like to take just a small little time on the Empire. And that's why I really like the episode.
Oh, cool. All right. Now we're going to buckle our seatbelts a little bit. And hold on. Danny, what didn't you like about... Well, hang on. Sorry. My bad. I'm in agreement with Nindroid, the Rebels tie-in. That was awesome to me. I didn't think they were going to do that. Trying to show continuation in the timeline. So, there's very little, if anything at all, I didn't like about what I seen. I saw all but like 5 minutes of it. Yeah, but I loved the episode. I loved the episode. Really, I did. I liked all of it. Granted, I'm in the same boat. It's called the Bad Batch for a reason, and the fact they weren't in there is the way they should have. That was a big problem. But
Crosshair was in there a
overall,
lot.
it was
Not that much.
He was there though.
Yeah.
Barely. But I like the episode. Danny, what didn't you like about it, if anything at all?
I did not like Hera's uncle. I think he was a damn idiot. It's one thing to fool a grown person, but you're gonna fool a child, think of what you know she wants most in life, and put in that dangerous situation because of your agenda. You should have never included her in that mission because that was too dangerous. And then see what happened. Now that his dumb decision caused his so-called friend, to get arrested. Probably going to be charged with treason, She's on the run now because he didn't have a better plan. Also, these ships should have some kind of detection device if something's on there that shouldn't be on there. Like when Crosshair shot that transmitter, I would think they pick it up. I've seen ships in the past be able to detect these kind of illegal or foreign objects. Didn't have that. Seemed like he kind of lost all of his warring skill and his countermeasures to handle stuff because he was so eager and so had so much tunnel vision to get those weapons. So I didn't like the fact that he made that dumb decision and put his so-called friend, his niece, in jeopardy, get them in trouble. Other than that, everything was okay. I would like to see the Bad Batch more, but hopefully next episode, like Ninja said, they can be in there and help rescue and get her off there and start her journey into becoming a rebel.
Awesome. All right, Alonzo, you have your chance. What didn't you like about it?
Well, for one, I think this show is basically right now having the same problem that I had with The Mandalorian. Seems like everything is a side quest to me. I don't like the characters and everything. I'm just not feeling them. I'm not feeling any of them. There's a few action sequences in the shows that are pretty decent, but other than that, I don't know, man. I've checked out, and I'm watching them, and I'm trying to get into them, but I just really can't. So, other than the things I said I liked, I disliked everything else about the episode.
Damn. Okay. Chris, what about you, man?
Again, we've said it multiple times that when you're going to have a show, you have your main characters in. I don't care if they don't start out being there, but the second they show up, as soon as they bring those weapons and those weapons are transferred, that's your point to ramp things up. You have now hit that place where that should be your apex. Something's going to happen. They've received weapons. Are they going to attack? And all you have to do is say something's not right, or they think something's going on more than what's going on, and so they want to look into it, or they're asked to look into it. You can bring them into this episode, and from that point on, they should be integral to the rest of that storyline. Even if you do have a 2-part episode, they should have been there. That is my biggest gripe. There was no reason to basically cut them out of this. I mean, literally, we aren't even introduced to them in this episode as if they are main characters of this series. They are brought in, you see them land, you know who it is, but it feels disconnected because you're looking at it from the perspective of these people. It should have been the other way. It should have been they leave the planet to come and rendezvous to get the weapons, and as soon as they start leaving, they should have switched to the Bad Batch. It's another mission for Sid. Where are we going this time? We're going to some planet that somebody is asked for weaponry to defend themselves against the Empire. You don't even have to say. People can add 2 and 2 together. And then you land and you look at it from the Bad Batch side, not from the other people's side. That's when you do the switch right there. And then they join these people, and you've already gotten introduced to these other people. So I think this is poorly thought out. It doesn't hurt the episode horribly, but it could have been so much better. That's my biggest gripe, is that they don't have enough of the Bad Batch in this. Crosshair is there, but I mean, what is he? What's he doing? I mean, that itself gives a lot of. There was so much more they could have done when he shot the tracker. Maybe the tracker picks up the second ship. What's going on? We'll send a scout ship up there. Send somebody up there, see what's going on. I don't know. I mean, they could have done a lot more. But big gripes, no Bad Batch.
Okay. That's completely understandable. Khaos, what about you?
You know, I'm trying to think. Besides the point that Danny brought up, I really don't see anything wrong. I wish it was a bit longer to see the interaction, but I guess they're leaving the interaction with Hera and what happens with Hera, right? There's no interaction because she escapes. But I'm just curious to see what happens with her. Bad Batch part there that Chris said, I get it, but I don't think it's totally necessary because I get your point.
Can't even be a yes man when you need to be a yes man. See?
Wow.
Oh wait, that's
No.
right. You're not my yes man. I'm sorry.
I'm nobody's yes man.
Oh, whatever.
I'm my wife's
Onzo.
yes man. That's it.
That's for sure. That's for sure. But there's a reason for that.
Yeah. So yeah, I couldn't really find anything wrong with this. The only thing that bothered me a bit was that clone trooper, when he saw the sniper shot, you could tell that something was wrong and he didn't do anything. But then again, it's probably smart that he keeps his mouth quiet because he would have been outmanned. But I would have I was dying to see a little bit more action in that part when he sees the setup.
Mhm.
But then again, it might be him who saves Hera or helps save Hera. Who knows? But no, it's very minimal. I don't have much.
Okay, that's fair enough. Daniel, what you got?
Actually, I'm with Danny. I didn't understand the motivation for the uncle to insist that Hera came along. Like, I don't know why he would have wanted her to. Like, did he think that it would keep them safe if they got caught? Like, I didn't understand why he so much wanted her to come along. Like, when she said, no, I really shouldn't come. I mean, obviously they needed her to come along for the plot, but it just, and to develop a connection between her and Omega. So when she calls Omega for help later, she can, it'll be like, I got to go help my friend kind of thing. But I didn't get the uncle's motivation. It means so very much wanting Hera to come along. Like, I don't know why he coerced her into it like that. It just didn't make sense to me. Because, sure, a simple supply run, yada, yada, but I don't know. It just didn't jive for me. It just, it showed like a real, it seemed negligent. Like, it seemed like negligent to bring her or to insist she come along or to try to coerce her that way. That really kind of bothered me as well. I did not mind that the Bad Batch wasn't there. I thought it was interesting. It was a little unusual. It kind of took a different turn on things, kind of mixed things up a little bit, which I liked. I don't want things to always predictable. I like it when they don't always approach an episode from the same way. So that's my thought on that one. Didn't bother me that the Bad Batch wasn't in it, but I just didn't understand the motivation of the uncle in having the Hera come along.
Okay,
I'm good.
all right. Austin, what you got?
Well, the first problem I have is this episode is kind of the problems that I've been having with the majority of the Bad Batch as a whole. Is it's a filler episode, and while it's not necessarily filler, the amount of filler I can count on both hands, and I can count on one hand the amount of episodes that aren't necessarily filler, and it is starting to get a little over redundant in a way. Now, this episode was the good type of filler because it explains stuff with the Empire and all that stuff, but it's starting to just feel more like side, and it's more like side. It's like kind of what Anzo said. It just feels side questy, and it doesn't feel like. It's just because it takes me out because like we get like a couple good episodes that can go 2 steps forward, 2 steps back type of thing, and right now is not the time to do it, especially when we have like 5 episodes left, if I'm counting it right.
Yeah.
It's not the time for filler. Right now, it's more about rounding out the story unless they're doing a season 2, which right now we don't even know if they are. So it's definitely not the time to do filler. And as far as the Bad Batch not being there, that's kind of a problem for me because the show's called Bad Batch. They're the main characters. And if your main character isn't there, that's not interesting to me. Like, or well, hang on, let me rephrase that. It's not the time to do it. If you did it maybe towards the beginning where you have all like that filler, fine, but not when we have 5 episodes left.
You got 6 episodes left. It's gonna be 16.
Yeah, this was episode 11.
I thought it was
Got 5
episode
left.
10. Oh,
No.
my mistake.
You're all right. You're all right.
I think that's it. And I kind of agree with the uncle thing. But the thing is that they have to have a reason to, I guess, have Hera, run off and set up the next episode. So, I mean, that really the problems I have that are mainly nitpicks. But other than that, those were really the only problems I had with the episode.
Okay. Last but not least, you enjoyed. What didn't you like about this one?
The Bad Batch not being there a whole lot. Like, I wish if we got at least maybe 2 more scenes of the Bad Batch, their reactions to certain things, or them getting contacted by Hera, like, hey, look, I need help, or someone, saying up that there is for sure a part 2, even though I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a part 2 to this episode. Something like that, a cliffhanger for the end of the episode like that. Also, what Austin said, I want more of the actual story than just small filler adventurous stories. We need to get to the main story. I would like to see more of like Cad Bane, of course, getting into here, and Boba Fett whenever he might show up, like stuff like that. And maybe next episode we might have a showdown with the Bad Batch and Crosshair again. I mean, like, that would be cool. I want that. But right now it's just that Bad Batch. The show's called Bad Batch. Again, this episode should have been or had more scenes of them. That's really it.
Yep, I tend to agree with everybody because that was the main thing that I didn't like from what I've seen. I was watching, and I was getting into the story, but then I started to notice, like, where's the guys at? What's going on? This is called the Bad Batch, and they weren't to be found. And then you just see them with a simple weapons delivery. Granted, I know they got to make money, but that was it. Drop some weapons off, give Hera a tour, blah blah blah, and then they go. Seems kind of off to me. Why is it called the Bad Batch when we're dealing with Cham Syndulla and his family and on Ryloth? I'm like, what the hell is going on? But when I watched the end of it, like I said, I got a little over 5 minutes left, and get more understanding behind it. It sounds like and looks like it may be a part 2, but we'll just have to wait and see. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and go around the panel. I want everybody's grade. What grade you gave the episode, which I pretty much know what Alonzo's going to say, I think. But still, give me a grade and some predictions for the future. Danny, we'll start with you, man.
I'm gonna give it a B-. Like I said, it wasn't the worst I've seen. Like I said, the only thing that really kind of stuck in my craw a little bit for us not liking it was like the uncle didn't have no care or concern for his niece or his friend. I would never put my friend's child in that predicament. And to dangle her with something that she knew that she wanted the most was just like he had an agenda, and she wasn't really a priority to him. But I think we're going to see a confrontation between Crosshair and the Bad Batch. Even that other clone, he may join them because he seems like he's sympathetic. Maybe that inhibitor chip is not working, and since you know how to take it out, they may take it out of him, and he may become the 5th member or the 6th member if you count Omega. So, I wouldn't mind that. So, like I said, give it did I say B-?
Yeah, Yes, sir.
Yeah, B minus, and that's what I predict. That
Okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you. Anzo, what you got, man? Give me a grade.
F.
Yeah, I kind of saw that coming.
And I have no idea with predictions. I'm just watching to see where it goes. That's all.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Chris.
I mean, I could give this a B minus, but I'll give it a C just because it feels like there was so much more they could do with this episode. And it almost feels like a kid doing their science project the night before it's due, but they're really good at it. So you can tell they rushed it or that they didn't put the full effort towards it. You can tell they waited for it. And because of that, I'll give it a C. I mean, again, it was not the worst episode ever. It's just like they just felt like they kind of phoned it in. They had an idea, they did the basic bare minimum, and they phoned it in. So.
Okay. All right. Guys, car.
I would have to give it a C plus.
Okay.
Where it's going, well, Dave Filoni only knows, but I would say I think it's going to be Bad Batch that's going to come in with a contract to save her, and that clone trooper is going to have a play in it. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Dandelion.
I'm gonna go with a B with this episode. I actually liked this episode. I found the characters more motivated, like I said. Again, like I said, with the Bad Batch, I have a real issue. I don't feel a connection between them, so it didn't bother me that they weren't in it that much. You know, I don't sense a lot of like when it's played by different people, you get a lot more like interaction where it's really hard to interact with yourself. Right? I mean, no matter how good of an actor you are, you're still not necessarily going to have that same connection that you get with other people. Like, it's just a different dynamic. Right. And as far as predictions, yeah, I assume that they're going to come in, the Bad Batch, and will come in and rescue her. Again, I kind of liked that other stormtrooper kind of being a little more sympathetic. He definitely seemed to have a bit of a conscience going on there. So that'll be interesting to see if something comes of that. I'm wondering if in a long haul, if perhaps the Bad Batch is going to sort of be like one of the unifying forces behind the Rebel Alliance. Like if they're going to be sort of like a tying in factor with that, like tie a lot of that Rebel Alliance stuff together, and that's what they're sort of building towards. But I'm still looking for the kind of like plot development we had in this one teeny episode for the whole show. Right? Like all these people had like motivation and stuff, and the show, I don't have a direction. Like I still don't know what the Bad Batch are doing. Or like I said, Omega doesn't have any compelling characteristics of her own. Like she doesn't have like, a drive or anything like that. And that's one of the things with Star Wars. The main characters always have like a drive or a purpose or like a skill or something that fits them into the cogs of the whole,
Well, Omega does have that. She wants to be part of the guys. She wants to learn. She wants to be trained.
Yeah, but on the same token, I don't know. She just always feels like a bit of a plot device to me. She isn't like a strong character, right? Like Hera was a much stronger character.
Mm-hmm.
Like she had a love of flying, and she was motivated to sort of kind of do what her uncle, like do the things, like to try and like impress her uncle and that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, but she had a lot of like, she was more of a compelling character. And again, when you contrasted her right there with Omega just didn't have that same kind of, she was just like, yeah, kicking along, one of the guys, when we're not getting shot at, I sleep here. There wasn't any sort of like I would have expected her to be a motivated in some way character, because she is supposed to be like a superior clone kind of thing, like, an unaltered clone. Like, I would expect her to have a little more like charisma, and she just doesn't have the kind of charisma that I would expect that character to have. I'm sure they'll develop it, but I just don't find her to be a very well-written character. Anyway, I don't know.
You're asking a lot for things to be well written in today's
I'm repeating
world.
myself. I know. I just, But the thing is that obviously they can do it, because they did a great job with Hera in one episode. Like, yeah, obviously there's like, it's a backstory to an existing character, but she felt so motivated, right? She has aspirations, but she's still trying to, like, be there doing what's happening now, but she obviously doesn't want to be there. She wants to be doing something else. So her motivations behind everything she does are to achieve that goal. And Omega doesn't seem to have a goal. But again, the Bad Batch don't have a goal. They're just like, they're at a loss in a sense. Like, I want the show to have like a direction and a more clear goal. And I'm still not seeing that. And that's what I would really like to see.
Okay. Good. Awesome. Thank you. Austin, what you got, man?
I give this episode a B, as in better than better than Loki. As far as what I think's gonna happen, I'm kind of with Guy Scar. They're probably gonna have the next episode, the Bad Batch, probably gonna be sent to save her. But if not, then they'll probably have something else for them to do, at least until the end of the show. Which, I still would like to see the battle on Kamino, and I would like to see the extermination of the clones. Maybe have Boba Fett come in there at some point, or Vader, or just something. But otherwise, Loki was so bad, I have a better appreciation for this show.
Damn. Tell it like it is, man. Tell it like it is.
I will always be brutally honest, especially when it comes to Loki. Wow. I'm
Okay.
shocked.
Well, you only got one episode left of that, so you ain't gonna torture yourself no more after that. You'll be all right.
Thank you.
Nindroid, what you got?
You know what? Because of how much I actually enjoyed this episode, I'm gonna give it an A-.
Ooh. Okay.
Yes. And my predictions are that the Bad Batch are gonna go save Hera. Maybe they're gonna take them back to Hera, and that's where she's gonna then eventually learn how to fly, then bump into Kanan, like in A New Dawn. Like stuff like that. Also, the Battle of Kamino, I think that's gonna be a huge thing. Boba Fett's gonna be introduced at some point to face off against Cad Bane. Just that type of stuff I'm predicting. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our show for this evening. I want to thank everybody in the chat that popped in. Greatly appreciated. Everybody on the panel, thank you very much for being here. And once again, I apologize for being late, but real life steps in the way sometimes. I want to go around the panel one more time. Danny, talk a little bit about yourself, please.
I am Danny Graham, aka Comment Chat. My show's on Monday night. Chaotic Conversation, 6 questions, 10 minutes. Also, you can see me on Tuesday nights when I was on the show, The Chaos List, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Wednesday nights, normally it'd be Chris' show, The Rule of 3 with a Touch of Tabasco, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. Great show. Look forward to next week, and thanks for inviting me.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you for coming. Alonzo, where can we find you, man?
Yeah, what's up? You guys know where to find me. Bigger Ford Entertainment, Chaos List, Chaos Conversation, Rule of 3 with a side of Tabasco, the OOC, and these roundtables that we have. Appreciate it, man. JJ, good show. Thanks for having me once again, bro.
Not a problem, man. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Even though I was the only one that didn't really like the episode, but hey, it's all
I
good.
don't not like it.
We all need that. Yeah.
We all
Go
need
ahead,
that
JJ.
comics representation. We all need that comics representation. You know, it's all good.
Besides, I liked the episode, but I'm not sold entirely on the show.
Gotcha. I feel that, but all right. Thanks, JJ.
All right. Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Chris, what you got?
Yeah, Real Review 3000 is my channel. Still growing slowly, but surely. That's good. We're going to get back to some regular scheduled streams more often. Some more gaming streams, of course. Going to start music reviews back up. Got some other stuff we're going to be doing. So we're going to try to ramp everything back up over there. Khaos Central, though, guys. I know that this afternoon when I checked, we were like 190. And right now we're sitting at 194. So that's 4 extra subs today. And Sundays have been our big day to get subs. So that's a good part of your doing also, JJ. So let's go. Got 6 more we need to get, guys. If you know somebody, pass the word along, please. And to all those people who've been watching after the stream, you're more than welcome to come during the stream. I don't know how you're finding us, but I know that these streams have been getting a lot of clicks after the fact, and so we'd love to have you here live in the chat. It'd be great to see you guys. So
Yeah.
JJ, great job. Excited to be here as always, and look forward to next week if I can be here. We'll work it out somehow.
Okay. Yeah. You know, whenever you guys are done building your tables and your chairs and stuff, come check me out. DIY, man.
There was that Florida man one too.
There was.
So the hatchet murder or something. I'm like, okay, I don't know why these people.
It's all good.
Interesting.
It's a click.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, Scar, talk to the people.
Yes, sir. You can find me pretty much on every single show that Danny and Anzo's just said, and as well as Khaos Central's and their shows, and this one and the one before this one. So yeah, that's where you can find me. Plus my channel, Pascal Scenario, gaming clips, the odd review here and there. Yeah, that is it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Very good.
Dandelion, talk about yourself a little bit.
Dandelion Fluff, mostly hangout chats. Sometimes come on a stream, and I have something to say, which apparently today I did. Anyway, thanks for having me, JJ. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Austinator, pimpy shit.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of go through my schedule for the week because I got a lot when it comes to my scheduling now. Sunday, Khaos Central. Well, now it's just only for the Bad Batch Roundtable, which, like I said, Fridays now are the best days of the week. Wednesdays are the days I dread the most. Shadow Eye will be starting up again soon. Mondays, good old wrestling. We're reviewing Royal Rumble 2002. The weekly wrap up, which is that being moved back to Sundays, Chris?
It will be back to Sundays, not this next week, but the week after, yes.
All right.
So you got this Monday, and then next Monday will be on, and then after that, it goes back to Sundays.
You won't be home next Monday.
Yeah, I will be for that time. By that time, I will be.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so you can find me on the weekly wrap up when it's on, and randomness at its finest usually on Mondays when my internet decides not to crap out. Tuesdays, Osnader and Friends talk pop culture, where we're talking about Loki again, of course. I'm the idiot that decided, hey, let's talk Loki because I thought the show would be good. No, never mind. It's been a nightmare. I'm gonna have to
talk about Frog Thor.
That's strong.
I guess I could talk about Alligator Loki the entire time. At least that was the only thing I wanted, except for old man Loki, I suppose. Splash Talk is more likely going to be moved to Wednesdays because I have a new show on Saturdays with my friend Angry Care Bears. We review movies. Yesterday we reviewed Nightmare on Elm Street, so we're going to be reviewing Nightmare on Elm Street 2 this week. And you can find me on the Rumble whenever, as either as a judge or, as a contestant where I'm the first winner of the season. And find me on Ninja243's channel for Galactic Chat. And, and also Thursday is the last episode of Loki, with all I have to say is, or the Loki Roundtable, which all I have to say is thank God, hallelujah, amen to that. This episode better wow me, or else I'm just gonna flat out just shit on it the entire time, which I probably will anyway. You can find me on my Twitter at theosinator17. Find me on Geeks Enjoy Nerdrotica for Nerdgasm. And also just go and subscribe to Khaos Central. Follow the Khaos Central Twitter. What fun stuff happens. Thanks for having me on, JJ.
Thank you for showing up, man. Appreciate it. Nindroid, talk about yourself.
All right, you guys can find me on my own YouTube channel, Nindroid243, where over there on Friday nights is Galactic Chat, which is now a game show for this season, which, I'm open to new people coming in to test their Star Wars knowledge and trivia, and also their opinions as well. So, go over there, hit me up on Twitter at Nindroid243. Maybe I'll have you on to fight with JJ on the finale. So, yeah. Also, over there, my progress reports of the Nindroid cuts of the sequel trilogy will be coming out. Some clips are releasing during the week. Just try and show what you guys are going to be getting. Basically, some teases, I guess. So, yeah, that's really it from me. Thank you, JJ, for having me on, like always.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And last of all, everybody that showed up in the chat, thank you. Everybody on the panel, thank you very much for joining me tonight. I appreciate it.
The hell was that?
Don't know.
Damn, I don't remember asking for sound effects, but it kind of threw me off. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for showing up. Come back next week and join us and hang out for a little bit. We talk about next week's episode. Maybe it gets better. Maybe it don't. Who knows? And with that being said, everybody, good night.
Adios.
Peace.
Hello.
Right.